Hey there, welcome back to the Biofield Hacker channel. As always, before we dive in, just a quick note, I'm not a medical, psychological, legal, or financial expert, nor do I claim to be. So I was inspired to do a topic today that might be triggering to some, but I'm a big believer in the fact that there is a big bruise somewhere if it's triggering you. And that's a clear indication that there's healing that needs to happen. And today's topic is one of those things. So if you're game, stay with me. If not, we'll see you next time. No big deal. Or come back later when you're ready. Let's be honest with each other here. Life can be pretty tough sometimes. And in some cases, it can get really tough. Like you've been sucked into your own personal journey into the bowels of the underworld unexpectedly. And exactly those times that I'm talking about today. Although it's still relevant, sorry, apparently I'm making a speech today. Although it's still relevant for less trying times. We talk about energy on this channel and how your own energetic frequencies and vibrations can dramatically affect your life. And it's during these lovely, and I'm being sarcastic here, times that your cycle includes the drama of what feels like the underworld, that it can feel damn near impossible to be high vibing. And it's during those times, us being human and all, that we tend to reach out to our closest circles, to the structures that we believed to be our foundation, to be there just in case we need them. And we've held on to that belief our entire lives. Well, what happens if you reach out to those foundations that you believe to be there during your time that you needed it? And needed it the most, and that foundation wasn't there. That your beliefs in the foundation was actually not grounded in reality, and you truly don't have the support that you're desperately needing. That, my friend, is the time that I'm talking about. That's the time where you feel like you're proverbially on the ground with 10 swords on your back, and feel like people in the world are kicking you when you're down. That time. I know that's visceral. I get it. But I also know what that feels like. I've been there. And I know how hard it is to get the fuck up. But from my perspective, that's what you need to do. Take every ounce of energy that you have left in your body and be single-minded about focusing that energy, your energy, intentionally on getting the fuck up. Don't focus on the people who you feel like wronged you. Don't focus on the systems that should have been there to support you. You don't have the energy for that. Focus on you and what you need to do to get up. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to figure it all out. That's like swallowing an elephant whole. It's one of my favorite sayings. Your job is to focus on the proverbial bites, bit by bit, moment by moment, step by step. Focus on the exact moment that you're in right now, as we're sitting. And the action that you can do that's in your control, and only your control. And the love that you can show to yourself. And do that. And then do that, and do that, again and again. Repeat it ad nauseum. And while you may not believe me right now, if you're in that moment where you're feeling like you have your own dramatic underworld visit or underworld journey. This is what happens when you're focusing on your own energy and the now. Momentum starts happening. Think of dominoes. When you dig deep into your core and find strength that you didn't know that you possessed to stand the fuck up and fight the good fight for yourself, the universe will meet you halfway. And until you've experienced it, I'm never going to convince you. You're going to have to experience it for yourself. But the reality is, there's nothing else you can do. If you're focused on the present moment and not expending energy thinking about those things you can't control or lost or whatever the case may be, when you're focusing on your best actions, you're raising your vibrations, and that builds. And that creates higher frequencies. When you start accepting things didn't go the way you wanted and thought you needed for them to go, and accept just it is what it is, and you carry on, you start to transmute the dense and toxic energies. And when you've taken thousands of those small steps, and you'll just have to take my word for it right now, you'll start to believe in yourself again, and you'll start to understand how incredibly resilient you are. And you'll start to appreciate strengths and talents that you didn't even know you had. And because of those new actions and intentions that you curated, you and your life will start to evolve, to grow, to take on new and better plot lines that were unseen to you before, that you never thought possible. And you change, not your core you, but rather you burn away the mud that was clogging you and your energy from the sum total of your life experiences. And you will unveil and unfold the truest you, the most authentic you, the strongest and best you, even if you don't feel like it in the beginning. Because sometimes it takes dramatic life journeys that feel like you're living in a bad telenovela that you can't escape from to wake us up. Because it's so bad that we can do nothing else but take better care of ourselves and to learn how to expend all of our energies on healing ourselves, loving ourselves back to life. As I was channeling this message, and I channeled it about a week ago, and then I was being lazy and wanted just a little bit of a break. So, as I was channeling it in the past, I ran across a beautiful quote that I'd never read before and thought it was incredibly appropriate for today's video. That quote was by Shannon Hertz, I think it is, Heartzs. And here's the quote. And just as the phoenix rose from the ashes, she too will rise, she or he will rise, returning from the flames, clothed in nothing but her or his strength, more beautiful than before. They say that diamonds are created by pressure, and pearls are created by friction from a grain of sand. So think about that in your trying times, and allow it to lend you strength in your darkest hours, and have faith in the universal energetic law of rhythm, also, which states that everything in the universe operates in cycles, patterns of rise and fall, in and out, light and dark, progress and pause. You have full faith that the sun will rise and set each day, so use that same certainty to apply to yourself, even if you don't believe it. Fake it till you make it, right? Change is constant, and cycles of life are happening with or without you. So choose. Choose yourself. Choose to curate. Choose action. Choose self-love. And choose a small positive step every single moment that you can of every single day. And that brings me to today's field tack. And it's an elegantly simple one that has very complex impact. I want you to ask yourself two questions. What positive small step can I take immediately that I can control? And then the second question is, what is out of my power and control that I need to surrender and let go of? Now, whatever came to mind with those two questions, go do those two things for your best and highest good, and allow life and the universe to restore the balance in co-creation with you. It's universal law. And let me be the first to remind you with an old adage from Winnie the Pooh that's incredibly apt. Always remember that you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and are loved more than you know. Until next time, I assure you, you've got this. Take care.